What to expect from Brighton and Hove Albion, the team that I hate playing because every time they play West Ham, they always turn up. They always put a really good performance in. Graham Potter's obviously come in this season, and the way that Brighton are playing, particularly the dynamism, the intelligence on the ball, the way that the players fill in for positions, the way they play the high line as well, they are a front foot possession-based side. And they will try and trouble West Ham at points in this game. They've got that front three, Trossard fitting into that number 10 role. Danny Welbeck's come into form recently. Again, a player that's going to use his mobility, also use his experience and composure on the ball to try and get in behind our centre-backs. But I do expect Brighton in this game to have a fair bit of the ball and West Ham to take a little bit of a backseat, be slightly more reserved, and allow them to make the mistakes. And we're going to have to use some of our better ball carriers to hurt them in open play. Robert Sanchez will be in goal for Brighton, who has come in for Matt Ryan, who was a first-choice starter for Graham Potter's side. But again, Sanchez is fantastic on the ball, really comfortable in possession, and for me, looks decent from set pieces as well in terms of that collection. And he will naturally be protected at times by a back five. The back three could be slightly different from what we've seen from Brighton this season. Again, you've got somebody like a Lewis Dunk who is out, and he's a huge figure for them. He's obviously their captain, brilliant in the air, but they have got some decent centre-backs. Webster, Ben White as well, really comfortable in possession. Expect them to step into the midfield at times and push on either Yves Bissouma or someone like a Pascal Gross a little bit further forward and try and create overloads on West Ham's defence. The wing-backs will look something like, I imagine, Byrne on the left-hand side, and on the right-hand side, possibly a Joel Veltman, who, again, they all have to be very comfortable in possession, but they will create a little bit of width in terms of getting into that final third, try and stretch West Ham's back four a little bit at times. And Byrne is a presence as well from set pieces. He's good defensively. We know he's an aerial threat, being 6'7". And Veltman is really decent as well. He has stepped into that mould as a right wing back, but looks comfortable on the ball, can carry it relatively well. And they'll try and get deliveries into the box and try and get somebody like a Danny Welbeck or possibly even an Aaron Connolly who may come into this game to get onto the end of some of those crosses. The midfield pivot is not how West Ham will employ theirs. It's slightly more expansive. It's reliant necessarily on the centre-back stepping into that space and allowing someone to get a little bit further forward. Yves Bissouma is their star man, incredibly composed in possession, reads danger really well, good distribution, and loves the tackle. And I expect him in this game to possibly sit a little bit deeper, give protection to that high line of Brighton's. But in terms of keeping the ball, he's so crucial. Pascal Gross may come in and stay in that centre midfield role. I know Lallana is probably the natural choice. Again, really comfortable in possession. And what I've been interested to see from Graham Potter's centre midfielders, particularly Pascal Gross, is him moving into advanced positions, creating that third man run. And this is where West Ham cannot afford to be too complacent. I've touched on him before. It is Trossard. I really like him in terms of how Potter employs him. West Ham really have to pick him up in this game. I know possibly we've got Declan Rice back, Thomas Souček. We should have enough defensively, particularly with the way that West Ham play without the ball, to deal with him. But expect him to go to either wing, create overloads, get in behind, possibly even get in front of those two centre forwards and try and cause those West Ham centre backs some issues. Very comfortable in possession, good in terms of keeping the ball and introducing the midfield a little bit further up. And it's got decent deliveries as well into the box, as well as trying to thread the ball through. Now, I touched on it briefly about Aaron Connolly. I'm not too sure who is going to partner Danny Welbeck in this side, but expect them to try and stretch the play. In terms of Neil Maupay and what he did when he was in the side, we know he's suspended for this game. Coming deep, collecting the ball and allowing Brighton to keep possession in that final phase of play. Danny Welbeck will be the man that plays slightly more on the shoulder. So if somebody like an Aaron Connolly does come into this side, he could possibly try and stretch us a little bit further forward. Try and maybe, I don't know, make that additional run and hurt West Ham. But again, I feel relatively comfortable going into this game. Brighton are a good side. They will try and keep possession at times. And I think the way that there's such an emphasis on that, I don't expect them to take too many risks. And it could help West Ham get back into defensive shape very quickly and deal with any of those offensive threats. But that is what you can expect from Brighton. That's essentially a predicted lineup, if we're honest. I'll be back very shortly with my team, the team that I would like to see play against Graham Potter's Brighton side. Take care, everybody, and I'll speak very shortly.